for the movie focus of the week.
All right, so this is my pick because of the football madness stirred up by the World Cup going on.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about Green Street Hooligans.
Yes.
It's rated R. It's 109 minutes. It's sports drama. It's from 2005, and it's got a disappointing 48 on Rotten.
Yeah, I saw that today. I was actually looking it up. Pretty disappointed in that rating.
I don't know what's going on with that, man. Doesn't seem fair.
Yeah.
It's starring our boy Elijah Wood and Charlie Hunnam.
Oh yeah.
As you guys might have seen in Sons of Anarchy.
Maybe a little small TV series.
What's the other movie he did?
He did Pacific Rim.
Right.
He's also did recently King Arthur.
That's right. Guy Ritchie.
Yeah, that one I guess was a bomb in the box office. But
too much of a risk. Too much.
Yeah, haven't seen it, but I own it. I own that one too.
It's like Guy Ritchie style in medieval time.
Yeah. I was reading a review on it, and it's like a modern action mixed with a medieval backdrop, and it kind of eliminates the medievalness of the movie.
They just throw everything out the fuck logic.
Yeah,
fuck it.
I'm Guy Ritchie. I do what the fuck I want.
Sherlock Holmes, this bitch.
Yeah, pretty much, basically. But yeah. So those are the movies that he's been in.
Oh, yeah. Elijah Wood, obviously, he's been in Lord of the Rings.
Yes. Wilfred.
Yeah. Sin City.
Sin City.
Tons of stuff.
Yes.
He's awesome.
I don't feel at home with that movie.
Anymore?
Yeah.
I don't feel at home in this world anymore.
Yeah, Netflix original.
Go back and listen to that episode.
Yeah.
One of our
watch
first
the movie
ones,
too.
Which you're featured on. One of the very first ones you did.
One, yeah.
Yeah, with our buddy Nerdist.
Who? There's another person on this podcast?
You know, I just did everything I just talked to myself, for the first couple
voice changer. Yeah. Technology.
Anyway, go back and listen to that episode if you haven't already. But getting back to Green Street, the synopsis is, after being expelled from Harvard, a young American moves to London in hopes to get closer to his sister. Instead, he is thrown into London's football subculture.
Yeah.
And that was written by me as well.
Nice. Beautiful.
So, what are your thoughts on watching, after seeing this movie? When's the last time you watched it?
Probably, maybe 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. I've seen it twice before this.
4 years ago since you watched it?
Maybe, yeah.
Wow.
3 or 4. But, yeah. This movie, I think this movie's awesome.
It is.
I think it's it captures that craziness that maybe not people here in the United States have, but the people over in the fucking London and
UK.
The UK. There you go. I was trying to think of the word. Fucking brain stuff working. It's late over here, people. The craziness that they have. I remember watching, what movie was it? Euro Trip, and they run into a firm or a soccer club's fans, and there's a specific scene where they beat up another group of fans, and that was the first time I had ever seen that until this movie, and it's pretty crazy, and I don't doubt that stuff's real, over there at least.
Well, that's what I think is so effective about this film, because its subject matter is entirely original.
Yeah.
And its perspective and the execution, it was all done in a lot of ways, I think, flawlessly.
Yeah.
The way it's shot, it really gets down to the kind of gritty underbelly of the subculture. And like you said, us over in the U.S., yeah, we have soccer and we have fans, but not hardcore,
like fanatics, pretty much.
Yeah, that have kind of these organized. So by day, they have all these guys. They have normal jobs,
like day jobs, and everything.
Everyday people. But when the football comes around, they kind of unite and they have these groups. And they go around and they, actually go out to the games, and it's all for the love of the sport and for their team and where they come from, and that camaraderie. So that's when I first saw this film. That's what really hit me. Is I was like, damn, there's like this sense of
brotherhood.
Yeah, the
unity,
the camaraderie, and the kind of viciousness of just kind of letting go.
Yeah,
and having that being based around the sport is like nothing I had ever seen at that time.
Yeah.
Which is, it was really beautiful to me, man.
Yeah. One of the things, straight from the beginning, you get introduced to Elijah Wood's character, Matt. Mm-hmm. And you see that he's been set up basically by his roommate, who's a drug dealer, I guess, cokehead.
But he comes from a wealthy, he's white privilege.
Yeah,
pretty much.
He's one of those guys who's kind of whose family has always gone to Harvard.
Jeremy Van Holden.
Yeah,
that was his name.
Yeah, and he basically sets him up and says, if you take, he kind of says, thanks for taking this rap. I'm glad we had this agreement. And then Matt is like, we didn't have an agreement. And then
he just kind of assumes that
he would play along and, roll over and take it.
Because Matt's character at first is kind of this kind of wuss, like nerdy introvert kid who gets taken advantage of, and that's what we see right out the gate. That's what they kind of set you up with to get you familiar with the kind of character that he is. Yeah. First, and so the rich kid kind of pays him off, and he's like, what would my dad think if his son were to get caught with drugs, and that's just not going to work for me, and I have so much more to lose. That's riding, than you do, and come on, man, like just do it. And Matt never really says anything. He just kind of rolls over, and then they reveal that the rich kid is trying to pay him off too.
With the $10,000.
Yeah, and
he's like, this should hold you off. This should be pretty good for you.
And then so Matt packs up and kind of moves to London.
Yeah, he goes to go visit his sister.
Yeah, and then his sister's already married and has a newly born child. And they don't really give you too much backstory on the husband, who is what's his name?
Not Pete. Tommy. No, Tommy. Steve.
Yeah, that's right.
Steve.
Who he's kind of a mystery.
Yeah.
But he's looks out for Matt, kind of. And then so then once Matt gets to London and you meet the sister and the family, you meet Pete. Right?
Yeah.
Pete Dunham.
Yes.
Who is the main one of the main
He's the what do they call him? The major, basically, of the new major, or the new head of the GSE firm,
which is the Green Street Elite.
Yes. And Steve basically tells him, I got this big date with me and my wife, and
we're going to see Chicago.
Yeah, you need to get out of here. And so he gives them 100 pounds. I don't know what they give them in.
We'll just say that.
Yeah, sure. They get $100. I'll just say that. Whatever. And he says, "Don't give this to Tommy."
He says,
"Don't give it to Pete.
You have to take Matt with you.
Yeah.
If you want the money." You got
to tag along.
Yeah, you have to take Matt to the football game and to hang out with you, and you can't ditch him. You have to be on your best behavior. And he tells Matt, do not give him the money.
Yeah.
Or basically he's going to ditch you.
Yeah.
And so once they get alone, He's like, you give me half the money and then you can go on and fuck off about your way.
Tourist shit.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not taking you to the game. We already know that. And all of a sudden, Matt gets the balls to kind of, he tries to basically kick him and he's going to run.
Yeah.
And
he's on, Pete's on to him from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
He go, Matt goes, "Oh, the cops!" And then as soon as Pete turns his head, he goes to kick him. And he even when his head's turned, he grabs his leg, and he's like, He's like, "You got some nuts on you after all. I can't believe you're gonna do that. If you try that again, I'm gonna beat the piss out of you." And then he kind of sweeps the leg, knocks him on the ground, and then he's like, "Just give me the fucking money."
And so after that, there's this kind of mutual respect built between them.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what kind of brings them closer in a weird way. And he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I will bring you with me. Let's go. And then you're kind of introduced to this
whole world,
the crew.
Yeah.
You go into the pub that they hang out at to kind of drink and get ready for the game.
Yeah.
And you meet all the individual characters. And then they head off to the first football game that they show you, and you kind of get to see the morale of the how, I guess, over there, how high the intensity is.
Yeah, how much love they have for that sport.
And you see like the other kind of rival gangs there.
Yeah, they're pretty much on the other side of the field, or opposite of them, and they see each other and they're flipping each other off and they go, "Oh, fuck you, I'll beat your ass," and you see that type of competition between these two groups, and after the game.
It seems like it's almost a test, but they tell him, go straight home. We're gonna go off.
Yeah, they tell Matt to just walk home. Don't go down any alleys. If anything happens,
you see any trouble, go the other way.
Yeah, turn and run.
And so they have this going back to the game, the GSE and another firm have a kind of little dispute inside, and so they see the GSE kind of send Matt on his own.
Yeah.
So they go and corner him while he's basically vulnerable.
Yeah.
And they're going to do this thing called the Chelsea grin, which is they I guess they put a credit card in your mouth, and they're going to slit I guess your lips open,
Joker style,
which is really fucked up.
Yeah, it is,
and sadistic.
And you can already see when they put it in his mouth, you see his lips
cutting,
kind of bleeding already.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
Like I don't know, were they going to kick it?
I don't know.
I don't. Or they're setting it up.
Pull it out really
fast. But he backed up.
Like he was going to maybe punch him or something. I don't know.
Oh.
But just before he's about to get hit, you see Pete and the rest of the gang.
They take
these guys out,
and they say, "We never leave a lad behind."
Yeah. And they whoop their ass, and one of them gets away, and they chase him, and he disappears, and then they're like, "Oh fuck it, let's go to the pub, get a pint," and then the same guy comes around the corner, breaks their windshield to their van, and they're like, "Oh, this motherfucker!" And they chase him around the corner, and then it was basically a ploy to get them out in the open, and there's about 20 other guys waiting for them around the corner, and that's where Matt's character is like, "Oh shit, we got to get out of here," like and then what is it? Pete says, "Oh no, you never run.
Stand your ground."
Yeah, when you're with us, you stand your ground and you fight, and that scene I think is pretty. It's a character builder, I guess, for Matt's character.
It's iconic because it's him almost being accepted into the firm.
Yeah. Kind of like his initiation almost.
And him, I feel like before that, he was wandering through life, wondering what his purpose was, or when he was going to finally fit in some way,
Yeah.
And he found this kind of
ragtag
group, which they welcome him with open arms. Even when before they go to the game and them kind of interacting, his first interactions with meeting everybody, you can see that they really love him.
Yeah, they're all like, "Hey, what's up?" And there's only one guy who doesn't like him because he's from the United States.
Bauer is the
kind of like Pete's best friend
and the right hand